Utah wins the tip in the NBA playoffs for the 17th consecutive season. Champions of the Midwest. Brian Russell's jumper is there. In games where he gets off, where he scores 14 or more, Utah is 36-10. They need him to complement Malone, Stockton, and Hornacek.
You know, Bob, it's amazing. When you look at this man's numbers now, he's gone through 12 straight years with over 2,000 points. Obviously, that's 24,000 points. And to do that, you would have to play in 82 games a year and average over 24 points. So you're talking about the consistency, the durability, what this man brings every night. And he and John Stockton play every game. And when they do, they put the pressure on their teammates not to miss. So when you look at this Utah team, their top 7 guys miss very few games. That's very key to having a successful season.
Malone over Grant. Ties it.
Has such great footwork. He just turns and reverse pivots, shoots a little fadeaway jumper. Look for a key into today's game. If the Jazz make over 20 free throws,
Malone, who has been first-team All-NBA 8 straight years, has hit all 4 free throws in this game. That streak may be broken, not that he didn't have a good year. Malone might be second-team this year. Rashard Lewis misses over Malone. Holiday has it, and Malone sprints back to slam it.
See, that's what you've got to do now. These young guys, this Utah team will run very selectively.
Stockton picks it off, the NBA's all-time leader in steals and assists, and he gets one of each on that play. Malone, an off-balance shot, then ends a 4-minute scoring drought for the Jazz.
One thing that surprised me about the start of this game for Seattle is Gary Payton is shooting a lot of threes.
7 points for Payton. He shot 3 for 10 in this quarter. Malone bumped and gets the bounce, but not the whistle, which he's arguing for. Utah trailing by 8. Malone cuts it to 6, and he scored 16.
Jelani McCoy, so not a lot of points there. They're going to have to give him some defense.
Stockton to Malone.
They've seen every kind of defense you can play against screen roll. Whatever you show them, they counter it at home.
First one for the 12-time All-Star and 2-time league MVP. Malone, who averaged 25.5 for the season, has scored 20 in this first half.
These are the reason these guys are right now in the 3-point lead.
Malone, red hot first half. He's got 22. Stockton in traffic, back out to Malone. He will not cool off, and he evens the issue at 47. He has 24 first half points. Hornacek weaving his way through, finding Stockton, wide open 3. Here we go in the second half. First 2 playoff games today on NBC. Low-scoring affairs. This one more wide open. Lewis lost it to Hornacek, and Stockton is gone ahead of the field, and it's Utah by 5.
Now, John Stockton started out the game 0 for 3. He's hit his last 3 shots, so now 3 of 6. He has 7 points.
Holiday chases it down. And Malone has 26 to lead all scorers. But it's picked off by Payton. He dishes to Lewis. It's blocked, but the follow is good by Burrell. In and out. That's his first miss. And Malone, at the other end, has 28 points.
See, what happens is Gary Payton loves to...
A decade and a half of doing what he just did and more. Now Stockton with a steal. Stockton to Malone. 30 points. Underneath the basket. Payton's pass is loose, and Malone has it. Stockton in the middle of the break. Hornacek wide open for 3.
Hornacek gets the rest. Isley in to play with Stockton.
Malone from Stockton. John Stockton now has 9 assists. The entire Sonic team has 8. First, Iverson second, and then by a fraction, Grant Hill 25-8. Vince Carter of Toronto 25-7. And Malone fifth at 25-5. In this game, he scored 33.
You can rest him for however and then bring him back. So this is how you steal minutes resting a player. Maybe an extra minute and a half rest here before they get into the timeout.
It was only a 3-point game at the half. It's a 15-point lead now. Breaking back is Patterson, and they almost stole a basket. Karl Malone leads everybody with 35. Howard Isley.
See, that's the baseline cut. This time he handed him the ball. Remember the last time he faked it to him? This time he handed it to him, and Isley gets the lay.
Stockton out of the corner for Hornacek. 5 on the 24. Malone will have to take the 3. And that's the kind of day it's been for Karl Malone, who has 38.
Wow, you could just see Paul Westphal. He looked over at Bobby Weiss and goes, do you believe that? Best defense we played all day, and they hit us with a 3 right as the clock winding down.
Malone takes the rebound. Malone is loose. He's got 40 points. His career playoff high is 44. He's got 40 today, plus 10 rebounds. Make it 42.
I think he's tired. Getting out on the fast break, almost a picture-perfect day. 16 of 26, 9 of 10 from the line, 42 points, going for 43 and 44. They get to that free throw line and start shooting free throws at the end of the game. He could have a 60-point game.
Certainly 50 is a reasonable possibility. 44.
People on the other side of the floor to recognize what he needs to do and give him a lane to work.
In terms of scoring, his biggest playoff game ever.
Over the last 6 weeks of this season, basically since after the All-Star game, has practiced these guys very little. What he's done is he's tried to keep them sharp in some shooting games and walking through some stuff, but he realized that the time for them is right now, come playoff time. So he's done a magnificent job with his team, having them fresh. And you know what, Bob? I think they're fresher this year after an 82-game season than 50. And Malone and Stockton stats are both up, I think, that shows that. 2:41 to go, and Jerry Sloan's bringing John Stockton back into the game.
Malone within a basket of 50.
Malone, very upset, felt that Horace Grant hit him on the elbow when he took that shot. Still went in, and Greg Willard just turned and ran down the floor.
It's a Jazz playoff record. Adrian Dantley had 46 against Phoenix 16 years ago.
That would have made it a 6-point game with 39 seconds to go. A lot of things can happen.
Malone's got it. Instead, he gives it up. 12 on the shot clock. Here he is. Maybe the last chance. He's got it. 50.
Your call, Bob. You said it. He's going to get 50 points. What a game.
That's the punctuation on a Game 1 Utah victory. Up 1-0 in a best-of-5, and even Payton, indomitable though he may be, will just dribble it out.
Karl Malone, all he hears all year long, all season long, is all these up-and-coming young players. Well, you know what? He delivered in a big game today, 50 points. What an effort.